Advaitamridavashini
You could get the books, Purnamada Mandal?
It was terrible rain that day, so
I didn't see you there, so I thought you might not have come.
No, that day morning I got delayed due to work, Swamiji. Then I went in the evening. He said those books will come due to rain. It is delayed. So
I told him to buy the book. He said, If he goes there, I told him to buy the book. And he said, it's not
I'm planning to go today after class.
Okay. Yeah, take it out. Yeah.
Tattvabodha and
Purnamada.
In that Tattvabodha, Swamiji, it is black color book. I saw that.
No, it is not black color. It is blue hardbound. Blue hardbound. Black color book is Purnamada Purnamidam.
Both written by Dayananda Saraswathi only, right?
Yes, of course.
Because there is like how you are a Swamiji. There is another Swamiji who has also written in black color Purnamada Purnamidam.
What they keep there at publication, they will keep only Swamiji's books from there, so you can buy it from there only. Yeah.
Verse 6.
Yes.
Bhagavan as the cause of the sages and manus. Mahashaya sapta purve tatvaro anavattata madbhava manasa jata yesham loka ima prajaha. Mahashaya sapta, the 7 rishis, purve of yore, Chatvaraha, Manavaha, the 4 manus, Tata, as well as Madbhavaha, those whose minds are resolved in me. Manasaha, Jataha, Jataha, born of my mind. Yeah, Manasaha, Jataha, born of my mind. Yesham, of these. Imaha, Prajaha, are all these living beings, Loke, in the world. The 7 rishis of yore, as well as the 4 manus, who have their minds resolved in me, are born of my mind, and of whom are all these living beings in the world. Purve means people who lived in the remote past, long ago, at the beginning of the creation in a particular cycle. There were 7 Maharshis: Marichi, Angiras, Atri, Pulastya, Vasishta, Pulaha, Kratu. This is generally accepted as a list of Saptarishis. But at some places, the name Bhrigu replaces that of Angiras. And again, the names of Saptarishis varies with each Manvantara. Swamiji, this Pulastya is father of Ravana.
Father?
Oh, grandfather.
Grandfather
Ravana. Grandfather.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, Pulastya, grandfather of Ravana. Yes. Yeah. That is why he says that it keeps on changing. With each Manvantara, they keep changing. Anyway, it's all basically, the idea is to give us the whole sort of lineage. That's all. Yeah.
According to the Puranas, there are 14 Manus. The 14 Manus are Swayambhuva, Swarochisha, Tharochisha, Uttama, Tamasa, Chakshusha, Vaivasvata.
We are belonging to Vaivasvata Manu. We are belonging to that. Yeah.
Savarni, Daksha Savarni, Brahma Savarni, Dharma Savarni, Rudra Savarni, Raucha Deva Savarni and Indra Savarni. And we are now under the rule of Manu called Vaivasvata. The period of each Manu's rule is 1/14th of a day of Brahma. 4,322,000 human years. So one day of Brahma consists of 14 Manu periods. The period of each Manu is divided into 4 sub-periods, each under different rule.
Yeah, basically the idea is to tell that the whole thing is too big for us to really conceive and think about. It's all perennial, what they call perennial, pravaha nityatvam, meaning it is nitya because it is beyond your imagination, when it is going to start and when it is going to end. So it is as good as nityatvam. Like for example, earth looks flat as you see, you and me see. It looks flat because it is so big, the curvature itself is so big, so it looks, to that extent we can see, it looks flat. So without curvature. So likewise, this number of years and all are, it is as good as Shashvatam. As far as we are concerned, we are always there. That is why you have to deal with it. If it is going to so change so fast, we don't have to deal with it. We have to deal with this life and we have to make something out of it, because as far as we are concerned, it is going to be there in our lifetime. We have to deal with it, we have to understand it thoroughly. So that is why these big numbers are given. Even though what they say, what science is trying to find out, and these are coming very close, all these calculations, what they have done, what way they have calculated, we don't know, but the way in which the rishis have calculated and what the astronomy today says, it's almost matching. That's what I was told. So that way they had that Durdarshi. Somehow they managed to find out all that. Yeah.
So in chapter 4 of the Gita, Bhagavan says, this yoga I taught to Vaivasvan. Vivaswan. Yeah. His son is called Vaivasvata Manu. In each Manvantara Manu's period, only 4 of them have the status of being the ones that create the people, Praja. And because of that reason, they are special and therefore Bhagavan mentions them. And in the present Manvantara, these 4 are Brahma Savarni, Rudra Savarni, Dharma Savarni, Daksha Savarni. All of them and the 7 rishis, Bhagavan says, are Madbhavas. Madbhava, Sankara says, are those whose bhavana, disposition or mind is resolved in me, Bhagavan. It means they have become one with me, being enlightened people, and they are endowed with powers of Vishnu, meaning Ishvara. Manasaha, Jataha. They are all born by mind alone. They are directly born by Ishvara's mere
Sankalpa.
They are directly born by Ishvara's mere Sankalpa. These Chatvaraha, Manavaha.
Chatvaraha Manavaha means 4 Manus. Chatvaraha Manavaha, 4 Manus. Yeah.
And Sapta Maharshayaha are the direct children of Ishvara according to the Puranas. What we see are the Puranas, in the Puranas is confirmed by Bhagavan Krishna here. Yesham Loke Imaha Prajaha. Of these are all the living beings in the world. First the Manus were created and then the Rishis. After the Rishis, sons of the Rishis. From them are born all the living beings in the world, in this world, under the mandate of Manu, which is why human beings are called Manavaha. And they are also descendants of Rishis. That is why everyone has a Gotra. All of them, Bhagavan says, are from me. Verse 7. The one who knows the glories of Bhagavan is endowed with unshaken vision. Yetam vibhutim yogam cha mamayo veti tadvataha so vikampena yokena युज्यते नात्र संशयः एतां मम vibhutim, this glory of mine, mama yogam cha, and my connection with that, tattvatah, in reality, yaha vekti, the one who knows, saha, he, vijyate, is endured, avikampena yogena, with unshaken vision, na atra samshaya, there is no doubt about this. The one who knows in reality this glory of mine and my connection with that is endured with unshaken vision. There is no doubt about this. Vekti Tattvataha means he knows in reality as it is. He knows the glory of mind that has been so far told, Etam Vibhutim Mama. Etam, Sankara says, gives a sense of what was said so far. Vibhuti is what has come from or emanated from Ishvara, Mama Yogam Cha, and he knows my association with all of them. He knows not only my glories, but also my connection to these Vibhutis in reality. How is the Lord connected to his glories? Ishvara is Sachidananda Swarupa. So what connection can he have? The connection between the glory and the Ishvara is exactly the connection between your own Atma and your limited knowledge. The connection is like this. The other is the one is. The other is not, the one is. This is the connection between Satya and Mithya. Though Maya are all the connections, through Maya are all the connections. There is no other connection. Only Maya connects Paramatma and any glory that is manifest. The one who knows that knows Satya and Mithya. If he knows Ishvara and his glory in reality, he knows what is Satya and what is Mithya naturally.
So this is what is important. This is precisely what we have to, in the sense, otherwise we'll be so flummoxed with all those numbers and all those names and all that. See, we know that all these things are there in the tradition, in our own puja rituals and all this Manu, everything, Rishi, everything is there. But what he says is that it is all, in the sense, all this are like when we get up, as I've been always telling, when we get up in the morning, we are just the awareful being. And then we first say, I am. And from there, all connection starts. Our name, fame, our own family, everything gets started. In the same way, between the Bhagavan Swarupa and all these vibhutis, the connection is the same. So, we need not, fantasize what all it could have been so big and all that. It is something similar to this. See, from which reference to our own awareful being when we get up, and the connection we establish once we put a name and all that, it's all purely like, the connection is, as he rightly says, it is like A is, B is. B is not, still A is. Like Amitabh Bachchan and beggar. So the same thing. It's all various roles you can play, but you are the reality. Everything else is only role play. The same way, like even when I get up, the awareful being, Desha Kala Vastu Aparichinnam, being is the reality. Everything else is vibhuti. The same way, Bhagavan, the same Desha Kala Vastu Aparichinnam being, and everything else is his glory. He knows his glory, that's why he is enumerating. Because Yugapat, from Yuga to Yuga, what all has been mentioned by the Rishis, in the Shastra, Purana, everything, the Rishi, the Vyasa has compiled all these things. All has been there in that, in their, in that Veda Vakyas, and what all the palm leaves, what all that is there, they have all collected and put together. And everything is a glory. And that is what he is enumerating through Bhagavan's words, which Swamiji is explaining. The connection is, the Swarupa is Satchit Ananda Swarupa, is the same between you and Bhagavan. And his glory is the whole history of the world. Adolphus' history of the world is his glory. Like how you can relate to it, it is the same like your own life. When you get up, you are just a being. From there, when name and everything, whole connection, your own father, mother, grandfather, all the ancestors, everything, what all you imagine, what all is happening around you, everything is a glory. likewise your glory, it is Bhagavan's glory. That is how we have to, that is how understanding is possible. That is the Tatparya behind the whole enumeration of the glory of Vibhutis is to understand that you are the Satyam, everything else is changing. And changing can be manifold, varied. Because it's changing. Limitless is the changing reality possible. Because continuously changing, there is no real vastu as such. They are just changing. So limitless, it can be limitless changing. The limitlessness is pointed out by talking about 43 million, 20,000 years and all those things. Some astronomical number, what we say, no? Astronomical number is quoted repeatedly so that the whole thing is can be expanded to anything. Once you say the being which is not a vastu, not limited by time, not limited by space, expansion is limitlessly, actually. Limitless when it expands, it can be limitless. Limitlessness is being talked about as a glory and vibhuti. And he wants us to connect in the same way. Whatever he connected with world is the same as the connection between Satchidananda Swarupa and Ishvara's glory. Like that, you have to understand that connection is Maya means what? There is no Maya means it is no object. There is a kala vastu aparichinnam, it's called Maya. And limitlessness is the possibility. That is what he is explaining. Yeah.
Once he knows that, there will be advantages for him at different levels. Accepting Ishvara as the one who is the source of all glories in others and me will free me from a lot of problems. If someone sees a person sing very well and understand that it is Bhagavan's glory, then he cannot be jealous of that person. If he is able to sing well, his own glory will not give him a big ego. He avoids pride, jealousy, hatred, etc. simply by attitude. This attitude brings about certain composure, antakarana suddhi, and steadiness of mind. Antakarana naishchalya. Then if he comes to know these glories, how they come about, and how Ishvara is connected to them, he himself avikampena yogena yujyate. He is endowed or connected with an unshaken vision.
Avikampena means, we say no, actually you can look at it. See, kampena and compassionate are one and the same. Kampena, the kampa meaning very emotionally, then when you get very emotionally involved, what happens? Everything shakes, your eyes are tears and the hairs are rising and all that. So very, you become shaken. So here he says, avikampena. Opposite of that is unshaken vision. So that is what he means. Unshaken vision means you will not get flustered by the whole thing. Be in good shape, you have to understand the glory of all these things, and you will not, in the same way Bhagavan says, all glories are Bhagavan's, vibhutis are Bhagavan. The same way when you see somebody in the society doing better than you, you will be happy for him. If somebody is not doing that well, you will try to help him. The oneness, it is in the sense, the true emotion will be only love. There will not be any hatred, jealousy, opposites will not be there. The true emotion will be the oneness, which is, love is the expression of oneness. That is what he is trying to say. That you look at the whole thing in a big manner. And then you will be abhikampena yogena ujyate. You will be having an unshaken vision of the oneness of the whole thing. Like Bhagavan enumerates here. That's what he is trying to say. Yeah.
The clarity of the vision of Atma as Parameshwara, the Samyak Darshana, Shankara says, is well rooted and steady, sthira. The one who recognizes me and my glories properly, and the connection of me with the glories, etc., is endowed with an uninhibited vision. A vision that does not shake. Yoga here means the vision. Any other yoga will be shaky. Na atra samshayaha. There is no doubt in this. If you understand Ishvara, his glories, his connections and so on properly, that is enough. Then you know yourself. Ishvara
then you know yourself. See, if you understand him, he will know yourself. That is the beauty. That is what he said. Yeah.
Ishvara Darsana is Atma Darshana. There is no other Darshana of Ishvara, which is why it is not merely experiential. To know silence is not enough. That silence has to be understood. Similarly, Ishvara and the connection between Ishvara and Jagat has to be understood. Understanding Ishvara means understanding the whole Jagat as Ishvara. You have to understand the whole Jagat. And if you have to understand the Jagat as something born of Paramatma, Chaitanya Atma, then the connection has to be understood properly. If that connection is understood, you understand Satya and Mithya. This is liberation. This Ishvara Darshana, which is Atma Darshana, is given here by pointing out the glories. Bhagavan thus introduces his own chapter, a chapter of glories, with these verses. Because the word yoga is used, we need to clarify the meaning. Yoga can be anything. Therefore, Bhagavan gives the meaning in the next verse. Only knowledge can be unshaken. Appreciation of the Lord as the cause of the world is not enough. The connection must be clear. Does the Creator really become a creator? What type of creation is it? All these ought to be understood. Only then can you understand Ishvara. The degree of reality enjoyed by the creation is to be understood first. If it is understood, the status of the Creator is also very clearly understood. When this is so, a person will be endowed with this unshaken vision.
Yeah, basically what he means is, if you understand the thing is that the reality, the status of reality is Satyam and Mithya. That is the thing. When Bhagavan Swarupa is Satyam and Jagat Vibhuti is Mithya, your Swarupam is Atma, and whatever you see also is Mithya. In Mithya, there can be difference, it doesn't make a difference. Satyam is one and the same. So, if you understand Ishvara like that, you will understand Atma also. So, your search for completeness in life will come to a fruition, because you will understand that you are also equally complete as Swarupa. And in terms of changing Vibhuti, it keeps changing. It is only Vibhuti. So it can be n number or n minus 1 number, it doesn't make a difference. All are Mithya only anyway. So that way the understanding should be, that makes it, the understanding is not just academic. Understanding gives you a sense of completeness which you are seeking in life. So it is a Purushartha, the Ananda which you are looking for, a completeness, a sort of security, a sort of connection, totally connected with the whole. All these things are possible if this understanding is complete. That's what he is trying to say. Yeah.
Verse 8. Nature of this clear vision. Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattas sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhavastamadvitaha. Aham sarvasya prabhavaha. I am the creator of everything. Mattas sarvam pravartate. Because of me everything is sustained. Iti matva. Thus knowing. Buddhaha, the wise men, bhava samanvitaha, endowed with vision, mam bhajante, gain me. I am the creator of everything, and because of me, everything is sustained. Thus knowing, the wise men endowed with vision, gain me. Aham sarvasya prabhavaha. I am the cause for the creation of everything. Aham here means Param Brahma, the one who is called Vasudeva. We have seen the word Vasudeva before, that in which alone all have their being. Like pots have their being in clay, the Jagat has its being in the self-existent Sat Vastu. Everything else depends entirely upon that. And there is only one thing that is self-existent, that is Atma. The self alone is self-existent. Everything becomes evident to it. So, what is self-evident is self-existent. Therefore, anything not self-evident cannot be called self-existent. Without my obliging the Vastu with my perception, inference and so on, it is self-evident, and this self-evident Atma alone is self-existent. It is called Vasudeva, that in which everything has its being. Thus, Aham Sarvasya Prabhavaha, I am the cause of everything. Prabhava means the source of creation. So I am the cause for the creation of everything. Somebody may create something, but then its care may fall to someone else, like modern parents. They are the cause for the children, all right, but then somebody else takes care of them. Similarly, Bhagavan may create everything and then appoint somebody else to be in charge of it. To negate this idea, Bhagavan says, Matta Sarvam Pravartate. Because of me, everything is sustained. This Jagat continues to exist and is sustained by me. A created object sustains itself for a length of time, undergoing partial changes and finally a total change in the form of disappearance. A human body changes partially. The person you saw 10 years ago, you may now see as bald, but you can still recognize him. Later, after death, the body disintegrates. So, you find activities of sustenance and disintegration taking place with reference to each and every object. There is no real destruction. There is only disintegration or partial disintegration of a particular form. This is the Jagat characterized by its sustenance, its changes and its disintegration. Then there are the results and their enjoyment. This includes the experiences of pleasure and displeasure, the places of enjoyments and activities which produce karma phalas that provide situations for enjoyment. All these constitute what we call Jagat. And Bhagavan says, I'm not only the cause for the coming into being of this creation, I am also the cause for its sustenance. Because of me alone, everything exists and behaves in its own way. Iti matva, thus knowing that this whole Jagat that they encounter is from me alone, Mam bhajante buddhaha, the wise men gain me, recognize me, know me. Shankara defines the wise man here as avagata paramartha tattva, by whom the truth of everything is understood as nothing but Paramatma. Bhagavan describes these wise men as bhava samanvitaha, those who are endowed with bhava. The word bhava has different meanings. We have to see the context. Here it is vision. What vision? The definite knowledge of the reality in the form of the understanding, I am Brahman. The meaning of the word I is Brahman, the limitless, which is Jagat Karana. Those who have that clear vision are called Bhava Samanvitaha. Mam Bhajante, they gain me. They become one with me because between Ishvara and the Jiva, there is no essential difference. Ishvara is nothing but Param Brahma. Jiva is also Param Brahma. This identity they gain. Further,
so that is why, as I was telling, that wherever he says mom, we can as well put ourselves, and for that we have to just to extrapolate, saying that like Bhagavan, when the creation starts from Bhagavan, since there was nothing else, limitless, not limited by time, not limited by space, and not even an object, the being. And from there the whole thing, Vaivasvanta Manu, all the 15 Manu, 7 Rishis, all beings, etc. etc. Likewise, every day when I get up in the morning, the awareness being. From there, my world starts. If you are able to see both, the difference is only in the Vibhutis. In the sense, he is able to now enumerate the whole cosmos. Here you are talking about your world. Either way, the changing only there are difference. But in terms of Sarupa, it is the same as the awareness being. So if you are able to understand this, then what changes only there are difference, it doesn't make a difference. What changeless is I and changeless Ishvara Swarupam, they are one and the same. That is what essentially we are looking for, because what is our Purushartha in life? We want a changeless Sukham, Ananda, sort of longevity. I should always be there, I should never be not there, and I should always be changelessly happy, Ananda and all that. So, if that is your Purushartha, and that is what you are, Bhagavan says, that is what you are, as changeless being, awareful being, that is what you are, that is your reality. Everything else changes is as though, because from the Desa Kala Vastu Aparichinna being, which is not even an object, how can all these things come? Because they are not really come, it only appears. That is why it's called Maya, Mithya and all that. and Bhagavan's glories are also the same. But only because it is the vibhuti of the same being, it is the connections are there, it all appears like even in a movie, like even in a dream. This is appearing for a bit longer period, that's all. And everything we give a name for fame, we transact, we do all that. And if we know this, we can rest assured and we do whatever we need to do. Okay, there may be other people in the same reality, but not understanding. So they will look at it, the whole thing as real, and they will transact with a lot of vigor and all that. Something can be plus, something can be minus, all those things will be there. So, but still, in your understanding, the whole thing is only a vibhuti. That is how, if you understand it that way, then he says, the Vishwara is nothing but Param Brahma, Jiva also is Param Brahma. The identity is they gain. That's it. That is the completion of the understanding, completion of our Purushartha in our life. That is what he is trying to say. That you must be able to visualize time and again when he enumerates these vibhutis. Yeah.
Swamiji, we read in Puranas what Prahlada, Dhruva, the glory of Narayana. No, they only were thinking of that. They prayed to him and all that. That is also, what do you say this?
Yeah. Basically, ultimately, as it is, finally the Jnani tu Atmaiva me matam. We have described the 4 types of bhaktis. The person who knows like Bhagavan and his identity like this, he is the ultimate bhakta. He is the ultimate bhakta. That is what all those glorified characters, Prahlada, all those people who have been talked about in the Puranas, the same, the 4th level bhakta.
Yeah, they
understand the identity. They understand the identity. But of course, as being Purana, they tell it only as a story to inspire you. But here it is Brahma Vidya, so they make it time and again, they tell the story and tell the Tatparya behind it.
Okay.
That is the only difference.
For us to learn from the Puranas.
Yeah. Purana is fine, the sense that inspires you. I want to be like Prahlada. Like Narada said, I know everything but I am not happy. Then Narada himself is not happy and he understands from Sukha, who is just a Brahmana sitting under a tree, and he is able to laugh at Narada and teach him. Then we should also get that knowledge. We should not try to be like getting this, that and all glories, all rituals. It doesn't make a difference. You must understand life. So, this inspiration we get from the story of Prahlada, Narada, everything. So the idea, they are all, Purana is supposed to inspire you to understand life. And it is easy to inspire a lot of people, especially young people who do not apply. It is better to tell them the stories and so that they get inspired. They get to know what it is all. Then they come. Then they have to qualify themselves. They have to have that composure. Like you have to have that vairagyam, vivekam. Then you have to get all those qualifications. For that you have to live a life of giving and Ishvara Bhakti, Anushanam, everything, whatever you need to do, whatever you do well, all those things. The whole preparation is the whole thing. But once you come to the understanding, the reality is very simple. It's what just one step you are into it. Yeah.
Verse 9.
Yeah.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Those who have this clear vision are one with me. Machitta Madgata Prana Udayantah Parasparam Katayantascha Mam Nityam Tushyanticha Ramanticha. Machittaha, whose minds are in me, Madgata Pranaha, whose living is resolved in me, Bodhayanta Parasparam, mutually teaching each other, Katayanta Chamam, and talking about me, Nityam, always, Tushyanticha, they are satisfied, Ramanticha, and they revel. Those whose minds are in me, whose living is resolved in me, teaching one another and always talking about me, they are ever satisfied and they revel always.
Yeah, beautiful. See, this is how the satsang is supposed to be like this. Our satsang is supposed to be like this. This is precisely what is being told. Just enjoy the glory of Bhagavan, discuss and understand each other, and our glory also is the same as that of Bhagavan. We have to understand that is the Ramanti Cha. That's what he says. They revel. He says, yeah.
They know Ishvara as the cause of the creation and the truth of that Ishvara as themselves. Understanding the Karana Karya, cause effect, is the basis of the whole teaching. The effect is inseparable from the cause, which is Brahman. Therefore, the effect is inseparable from Brahman. Because it is inseparable, the effect is Mithya, it is only apparent. Therefore, the entire Jagat, which includes the body, mind, sense complex, is a product and is Mithya. So between the cause and effect, the relationship is very peculiar. The cause is Satya, that which exists independently, and the other, which is Mithya, depends on that independently existent principle. Like pot and clay, like a shirt and its cloth. If you analyze it, the cloth is Mithya, the thread is Satya, the thread is Mithya, the fiber is Satya, fibers are Mithya, particles are Satya. Like this, you can go on and on. Then what is Satya? That which does not depend upon anything else. Is there such a thing? Yes, that is Brahman. Thus, through this Karana Karya Viveka, the teaching takes place here.
Yeah, basically here what he said is, if you really extrapolate, what will come is, it is what you call, Desa Kala Vastu Aparichinnam, it will come. It is not even it's not a thing, it's just the being. That will what will come when you extrapolate it. And that being is the reality of Brahman as well as Atma. That is what he is trying to say. Yeah.
By knowing that Ishvara is everything, they become one with Ishvara. How is that? The second step is interesting. The first step is knowing Ishvara as the maker and the material cause, and therefore that the effect, the creation is non-separate from him. This is the knowledge of Ishvara. Knowing it, you come to recognize you are that Ishvara. This is the second step. If Ishvara is everything, your physical body is Ishvara, your mind is Ishvara, and your senses are also Ishvara. What is not Ishvara? If everything that is created is Ishvara, perhaps consciousness is not Ishvara because it is not created. You cannot say that because what was there before creation was Sat alone. If consciousness is uncreated, that cannot be different from the Sat, the Swarupa of Ishvara. So Sat and Chit are the same. Knowing Ishvara, you become one with Ishvara. This is not an ordinary statement. First, it is presented as though something else is the cause. Afterwards, if you analyze the whole thing, it ends up that you are the cause. Your isolation, the separation between the Lord and yourself is simply swallowed in the vision of Ishvara. Therefore, the vision of Ishvara is the vision of yourself, the vision of the whole.
So this is what when we explain to the people also, we can tell, like in the temple also, everything is given, okay. The given is all arpanam unto Bhagavan, okay. The giver is separate from the given. The receiver is also separate from the given. Simple English language knowledge will tell us the receiver is separated from the given and the giver is separated from the given. And the given is what is done, arpanam. All of us do everything, all our glories, whatever we can think big, we put it on Bhagavan. Okay, and giver as the being is on the other side. Receiver as since I have given all my tanu, mana, sab kuch, everything, my body, mind, senses, everything, as is told in this para, everything is given unto Ishvara. So what is remaining? If you remove your body, mind, senses and all that, you, the being alone is there. And that side the being Ishvara is there. So the identity is established. This is what prayer is supposed to be. That is what the arati is supposed to be. Arati establishes oneness between you and Ishvara. Because everything else is there on the table already. Alankaram, Abhishekam, Devedyam, everything done. So that is what is there. That is the beauty of the visualization of Aradhana, Ishvara Bhakti and all that. You can easily bring it up to the people by understanding it this way. And then, if that is the case, finally the question has to come. At some point in time the question has to come. Then what am I? If everything, the I, the being means what? Then how come it is Desha Kala Vastu Aparichinam? How come? Then you will say, yes, yeah, come on. You, as of now, you are just sit and meditate, just think about it. Everything, whatever that comes to your mind, you decide, just be. Are you there or not? Yes. That is what you establish in meditation. You wanna, this is your reality which you have bartered to the world all these years, all these janmas. Now you have understood, just be with it for some time, till the time the vasana, like nirantara krita, what they say, whatever, because of avidya, whatever vikshepa, that wrong understanding that has been there for so many janmas, has to be countered by this understanding in meditation. Because you need, so many years, so many janmas you have lived like that with the wrong understanding. Now that you have got the right understanding, for you to claim it, you have to sit in that. That is the real nididhyasana. Where you bring in all this understanding, whatever you have gone through Gita, whatever lessons you have learned, whatever you have understood, put it in there. And accordingly, that meditation, that nididhyasana will make you claim your own reality. That's all what it is. That's what he says, yeah.
Machittaha, those whose minds are in me, Rameshwara. With their knowledge, the mind naturally is non-separate from Paramatma and therefore cannot go away from Paramatma. People often
Thinking of that, Swamiji. I was just thinking of that only when you are explaining.
Yeah, very true. This is very nicely, Swamiji uses the very nice, this very convincing language, like in terms of the giver is separated from the given. The receiver, by simple English language, the receiver is separate from the given. And the tatparya, the beauty of our prayers, our culture is, we put everything, our best onto Bhagavan. That is our worship. All alankara, abhishekam, all that, whatever. That is why I will give 50 liters of milk, somebody will say 100 liters of dahi. Because you are so enthusiastic to show your Sharanagati. Not necessary. People really criticize all that because your Sharanagati, if it is really true, you don't have to quantify it in terms of numbers. But the problem is, we are so very, we are so agonized with ourselves. I want to hurt myself and give the maximum. Even if it hurts me, I won't mind giving it to Bhagavan. I will buy and borrow and put a golden small vadayal for Bhagavan. So, because we know innate, we know very well, the whole thing is, it is one reality. I cannot compromise with anything that I am not with Ishvara. Even that's what I was trying to tell. The udaram antaram kurute atatasya bhayam bhavati. Even the minutest difference between me and Bhagavan I cannot digest. Because my stress, which Arjuna is asking for, my stress is only in completeness. I cannot wish it away. No, I will take care of it later after retirement. No, I want to be complete here and now. I cannot postpone it. So, that is what we are trying to express in our worship and bhakti and all that. But what Shastra says, you are already one praptasya praptihi, you are already one with me. Why are you so bugged? Just understand the reality. Go through the Acharya's Upadesha, see that closely, understand that you mattaha anyana. Okay, that is all the payoff for all our worship and all that, all our prayers, all our worship, all our righteous living all through these janmas. The payoff of all this is understanding Ishvara as mattaha anyana. Then all this craving will stop. You will not be going after, even adli oru tiviram, bhakti oru tivira bhakti. It's all beyond a point. No, you have to stand up and look at, okay, last time I gave 100 liters milk, this time I have given 200 liters milk. What difference? What I am trying to do with myself? You must ask. That question has to come. Then we will come to understanding. Bhagavan also is waiting when we will understand. That's what he is trying to say. Yeah. Machittaha, na?
Machittaha, those whose minds are in me, Parameshwara. With their knowledge, the mind naturally is non-separate from Paramatma and therefore cannot go away from Paramatma. People often complain that they understand, but then their mind goes away. But understanding is never away from the mind. The understanding is that the mind is never away from Atma. That is, understanding that nothing is away from Brahman. For those who understand, the mind is never away from me, the whole, because Satya is...
No. Mind is never away from me, the whole, because Satya is Atma.
For those who understand, the mind is never away from me, the whole, because Satya is Atma, and it sustains the mind. Madgata Pranaha, in this expression, the word Prana is taken to represent all the sense organs. They are all awake to Ishvara, therefore these people are called Madgata Pranas.
Gata meaning that which pervades. Mad means I pervade all prana. Prana means all Shakti, all that activities and all that. That is the meaning of Madgata Prana. Meaning I pervade everything. That I, the being, pervades everything. Yeah.
Even though they perceive things distinctly, these wise men see something more. What the eye see is a form, and this form is distinct from every other form. That they see. But then they see something more because they also appreciate that the object perceived, the perception, and the perceiver all have their being in one consciousness, which is self-existent. If there is no ignorance with reference to this fact, one becomes Madgata Prana. Although all the sense activities takes place, they are never away from Parameshwara. The perception of the sense organs is not a hindrance to the knowledge of the self, so being in the world does not in any way hinder the vision of the self, and not going through experiences is not going to bring about the vision. Ignorance is the hindrance, not perception. Those who do not have that hindrance are Machittaha Madgata Pranaha. In other words, Shankara says that even for 1 second, their lives are not away from Ishvara. Actually,
yeah, read. Yeah.
Okay.
Prana is also breathing. Voice is clear, because some problem.
Yes, clear. Yes.
Prana is also breathing. Therefore, can stand for living, jivana. So, Madgata Pranas are also those whose living is non-separate from Ishvara. Their life is resolved in Ishvara. It means there is no division of spiritual life and material life for them. Some people have a peculiar philosophy that life has two separate components as spiritual and secular. There are no such compartments. Everything is one whole alone. For one who knows life is non-separate from this vision, whatever you know about yourself is what you are, and if that happens to be the whole, how are you going to be away from it? Do what you will. You cannot be away from it because the one thing that can never be away from is yourself. You can be away from one object or the other, but never from yourself. Those who understand this clearly are Madgata Pranas.
Actually, there is one famous statement, I don't know who has said it, love all and do what you will. There is one statement by somebody, I don't know, some English, some foreign author only. Love all and do what you will is exactly what here he says. Do what you will, but you cannot be away from me. That is what he says here also. The same thing. Yeah, very good.
One thing I wanted to ask in between, because the conversation is going on, you said Desakala Parichinna.
Desakala Vastu Parichinna. Desakala Vastu Parichinna meaning Desa Aparichinnam meaning one minute. Desha Aparichinnam meaning limitless, right? Space. Kala Aparichinnam meaning limitless by time. And Vastu Aparichinnam, actually speaking, once you say Desa Aparichinnam, Vastu Aparichinnam, Kala Aparichinnam, anything that has no time limitation or space limitation actually cannot be a Vastu. Any object has got all these limitations, right? P1, T1, P2, T2. So, if you don't have a place and you don't have a time to component or coordinate, then it is not even an object. So, the Vastu Aparichinnam need not even tell, but still it is told, because you may think that way. So, Desa, Kala, Vastu, because Akasha also is not a Vastu, okay, space itself, but it is within your consciousness, you can say space. So, whereas I cannot be objectified by space. So, that is why Desa, Kala, Vastu, Aparichinnam is your reality. You are the being, you are not an object, you are not the Vastu, is the Vastavam. That is why I always say Vastavam is the reality. And the reality, and Bhagavan also is limitless, Bhagavan also is not is whole, does not have parts. That means limitlessness is you are, therefore you are limitless. There are only two things, limitless, all of us agree. Because we visualize a Bhagavan or a limitless Brahman as something limitless. It is, we have no doubt about it. And I have no doubt about it. So I am limitless, over. That is the only reality can be called knowledge. Everything else is badhitam, meaning changing. Changing cannot be called knowledge. So that is why abhaditam satyam. That is what it is. That is what is the whole tatparyam is all about. You have to understand it. Further, we are doing it in so many ways because so many people come from different backgrounds. For them to understand so many anecdotes, so many examples, even the rishis in their own time, millions of years back, somebody 10,000 years back, somebody a millennium, in their language, in their time period, whomsoever was there in front of them, according to what they see as truth, the rishis, they wrote it in their palm leaves and all that. Later, so many million years later, Vyasa came and compiled and put them together as Vedas. And further down, some other Vyasa came and wrote Mahabharata. Some other Vyasa wrote, what do you call, Brahma Sutra. And then Shankara. All that. See, there are come so many. But that is why all that, the essence of all that is put together and is given as Gita and Bhashyam for us. That is how it is. It is not, what do you call, it's not done in one day or one yuga or one era. It's all come from various things. But here we are sitting and understanding. We all have a level playing field amongst ourselves because they belong to the same era. So we are reducing the whole understanding to what we can understand. When I say awareful being, when I say Desa Kala Vastu Aparichinnam, I try to explain to the extent you can understand because you are in the same background as I am, like that. So that is how everyone has done it. So it is not a big deal in terms of why so big, such a simple thing, why they make it so big, because it has come through so many hands and everyone has to understand. It is not enough. If I understand, I have to communicate, you have to understand, you have to communicate to somebody else, they have to understand. For that, various language has to be used. That is why it is put together in so many fashions, so much fashion. That's how it is. Yeah.
Actually, what you said, Swamiji, this love and do what you will, it's a quote from Aurelius Augustine, who lived from 354 to 430. It means that someone who has love and charity in their heart will only do good and holy works. It's as if Augustine is saying that charity is incapable of sinning. This is from Christian History, Luke 6:32-36.
Yeah, see, great men think alike. That is how it is. So it will all come like that because truth cannot be different. It can be told in different language. That's all. Yeah.
How do such people live? Ramanti.
Yeah, Ramanti, they revel. Yeah.
Ramanti, revel. Parasparam,
Bodhayantaha. Yeah.
Bodhayantaha. Mutually teaching each other. What else can they? Those who want to learn, they teach. Ma katayantaha cha. Katayantacha. Talking about the goodness of me, Parameshwara. When do they do this? They do it always nityam. Bodayantaha is different from Bodayantaha. Bodhana implies a class situation or a discussion. Katana is just descriptive. There is no teaching. When you describe the glories of the Lord, His knowledge, His strength, and so on, it is called Katana. In talking about me, whether teaching or describing, they discover a joy, and in that they revel, ramanti, and enjoy satisfaction. Tushyanti.
Tushyanti means santosham vishay, no? The same thing. Tushyanti. Yeah.
Reveling. Reveling does not require anything but Parameshwara. He had used two words here, Ramanti and Tushyanti, which have similar but slightly different meanings. Ramanti is with reference to the external world, so it involves people here. Tushyanti is with reference to oneself. They have found satisfaction, so they do not need to go off in order to be happy. There are two ways of going after things. One can go after things for happiness, or one can happily go after things.
This is what I used to say. Instead of hunting for happiness, you can happily hunt. I always used to say this. Yeah.
Going after things to discover happiness generally does not work. And if you are happy with yourself as a person, then you do not go after things. It does not produce any result for you. But then you can do things rightfully. Shankara gives an example of how they revel in talking about Ishvara. Suppose a person is with someone very beloved to him. What could be the joy he discovers in conversing, in being in the company of his beloved? With such a joy or more, the one who appreciates Ishvara revels in sharing the understanding of Ishvara. This can include even those who do not have that knowledge but discover their joy in teaching and sharing what they see of the glories of the Lord and sharing what they see of the glories of the Lord. Even when you see a beautiful flower, you can simply say the flower is beautiful, or you can see something more than that. The beauty of the flower is the glory of Ishvara. Wherever there is any ray of glory, anything striking, that is where Ishvara is present for you to recognize. Thus, a verse can be about wise men or jignasus, those who want to be wise and who are after this knowledge. They share with others whatever they have come to know. Shall we stop at this?
Yeah.
We'll stop at this. Let's start from only.
Yeah, okay. You can complete this. Prashant, you can complete reading this so that we can start with the verse 10 tomorrow. Yeah.
Only when you discuss what you think you know, do you discover what you do know. Clarity takes place only when you begin to part with the knowledge you have, sharing it with another person. Because there is a pair of eyes looking at you, they become a check for you. If there are any fallacies in your thinking, it will become very clear. Any vague areas in your thinking also become very evident. If you commit a mistake, those eyes will reveal that something is wrong. When you see that, your mind becomes alert. It begins to discover those areas of vagueness. The sharing of knowledge can also be mutual in a discussion among seekers. Both are part of Brahma Bhyasa. The sadhana for knowing Brahman, which is not different from yourself. There is no other sadhana. It is not something that is going to emerge at some time in the heat of meditation. The self is you. It is never hidden at any time. The only thing that covers it is ignorance. Therefore, listen and reflect on what you have understood by sharing it with others and in discussions amongst yourselves. Swamiji, but we only talk about Nitidhyasana, right? We only talk.
No, it is it's yat chintanam tat katanam tat prabodhanam is basically what a person who knows is supposed to do. He's supposed to do the rest of his life only this. Chintanam, katanam, prabodhanam. So that is what he is saying. Basically, that is what he says. The whole idea is to be like that. Once you understand, you share. Once you share, they will have some doubts, you clarify. Then your clarity also improves, his clarity also improves. It goes on. And for seeking the glory of Bhagavan, Karumbutinda Kuliyangra, you don't have to really feel, oh, I have done so much, you don't have to say that. Because it is all the glory. You know, everything else is something -1. So that is what he says. How beautifully he is explained. Okay, we will start with verse 10 tomorrow. Yes.
पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम्